This Kyrie Irving thing has been pretty interesting to me, though.
Now,
What do y'all
Kyrie
think
is a
about? 'Cause I think
Kyrie is
that's
a
pretty
guy that
interesting
could
because he can't
forfeit the
play
money.
in because of the fact that correct me if I'm wrong about this, right? I think it's because of the fact that they are a New York franchise. He's not allowed to practice with the team or anything to have. He's just going to no games or practices in New York. So since they're a New York
So
franchise, he can't go to any of their home games. So essentially, though, he can
yeah,
only possibly play in away games,
yeah.
but
So
then he would
that's
also not be practicing with the team. So it's a really fucked up situation. I don't know what's going to happen with that situation. But if I find it very interesting, what do y'all think about that situation? I think that's wild
I
because he
think
basically could miss the whole season
I
potentially, right?
think Kyrie is different on purpose. I think there are some people in this world that are just different, and I think
We know
Kyrie is different.
this.
I think he's different
But
on
what are the?
purpose.
I mean, we
Um,
know that. But what's the franchise going to do? Like, like what would
I
you
think.
do?
I mean,
Like,
I think.
I'd trade him for Ben Simmons.
I'm not trading. Like I play him. I mean, the odds are Kyrie doesn't need to practice with the team. They have so much talent. We saw that they could have guys come in and out of that lineup and they could still play good. I don't think Kyrie missing home practices or home games affects the team too much until the playoffs.
Kyrie doesn't have to do anything going to NBA. Yo, okay, like
I
that's
like this guy
ridiculous
Will
though.
Peter.
Willie
Put up that
P.
first comment. Put the first comment back up. I want to address that one. So NBA basketball shouldn't trump his life choices. Okay, so
He said like
Shouldn't he
an
NBA
said?
abortion.
basketball
He
doesn't
said
affect
like
any
my
of his
man.
life choices ever for
He said
any
shouldn't
other
shouldn't
reason.
clarify should
It
not.
shouldn't, but it does, and he chooses to play in the NBA. Right? He could just walk away from the NBA
It's his
anytime.
life.
right?
I mean, he's a millionaire. Yeah.
That's what he's talking about doing.
And
No,
why is
what?
he a millionaire? What organization gave Kyrie
The
Irving
NBA.
millions of dollars?
Not the Nets, mostly
Well,
other
he gets
teams, but
bagged.
Cavaliers, Celtics, whatever.
I mean,
Nets would
No, I'm
only
look,
gave him
saying
a. Nets
all
would only
NBA
paid him for like a year or
franchises,
two. It's like one or
all
two
NBA
years.
franchises, right? So my point is the same. Like Kyrie is more than welcome to do whatever he wants, just like anyone is. We talked about this, you know what I mean? Last show for the most part. So I'm not disagreeing with his stance. If he doesn't want to get vaccinated, that is 100% his choice, and I don't think he should be forced into it. I
no
think
one's getting
it's
forced.
exactly. So if he,
I
I think
mean, he's gonna.
the hoopla that surrounds it, him getting these little side press conferences and being like, no comment, don't ask me that, personal business, all that kind of extra stuff. It's like T said, it's different on purpose. You don't have to do any of that if you're Kyrie Irving. You want to make a statement, just don't play. Don't play in the home games. Only play in the away games. Then
Right.
it's gonna be silly in the long run. You're gonna lose money. That's fine if you don't need it. Other people are gonna have to get vaccinated to make money because they don't have millions of dollars that they got from the NBA in prior years to just fall back on. So other normal citizens are gonna have to go to work, get vaccinated, do what they have to do, and it's not gonna be much of a choice for them. But you're right. Kyrie Irving does have the option to do whatever he wants. So he could do it quietly. He doesn't have to, you know what I mean, answer these
Nah,
questions.
nah,
He's
nah.
already anti answering
You
questions
can't you
anyway.
No, no,
can't
So
no.
be
just
quietly gonna ask you a
How can he do
question
it
every
quietly?
day. Like
How can an NBA All Star miss 42 games in a
then
season and do it quietly? Please,
What
then
the,
that's
don't
not
these guys
possible.
are hurt and low
then miss
managed
all
all
82.
the time.
bro,
There's nothing quiet about
man.
that.
Hey man,
Then
this
miss all
Something
man
has
is a
to
82.
troll,
like
man.
at
Somebody
that point the
control these
franchise
people.
has to do something. They have to honor his decision, but at the same time, bro, if you're paying the dude 20 plus million, 30 plus million, and he's your front of your franchise players, and he's not going to play in any of the games or half the games or whatever the case may be, it's messed up.
It's
So
probably more than half because
I at some point
he's not gonna be able to play in the games that they travel to where the COVID restrictions are
But
the
this is
same.
this is not
So
at some
about the
point, when does the team just cut bait? Because at the end of the day,
they're not.
last season they had issues with him already. They were already kind of troubled with him already.
What
Now
does cut bait mean?
cut bait,
Release
meaning
him? Look,
move on.
look,
Not
this
necessarily
is the
release him,
thing.
trade him, do whatever you can.
The NBA is not saying you need to choose between the NBA and getting vaccinated. It's not saying that your life choices trump the NBA. The NBA is saying you can keep your life choices, but how much does your job mean to you? Like
All right.
that's at the end of the day, that's what it is. How much does these millions of dollars mean to you? It's not like they're saying, hey, pick us or pick vaccination. They're saying do what you want. If you don't want to get the vaccine, don't get it. If you want to get it, get it. But if you don't get it, This is what we're mandating. And for most people in the known world, your job is intrinsically related to your lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? To your life choices. So if you want to prioritize anything else above work, that's a personal choice. And if you feel like you shouldn't be in that situation, you're gonna have to create your own business, right? You're gonna have to work for yourself. Outside of that, you have to go to work and you have to listen. It's no different than anyone else. My man
Comments
Willie,
is crazy right
my
now.
man Willie Pete going nuts.
I'm rocking with Willie P, man. Willie P said, "Yo, let the man live how he want to live, man."
Look, nobody can pressure you. You know, pressure is fake, right? Nobody can pressure you to do something you don't want to do. Like
Pressure not fake. Pressure is 100% real. But to Kyrie
pressure is
Irving,
pressure is
Kyrie
what
Irving
you
doesn't
make it.
care about that. Kyrie Irving
Right.
doesn't
That's
care
why.
about that. I don't know. To me, it's not a
Then
conversation.
what does Kyrie
To me,
Irving care about?
he cares about his principles.
And what are those?
Whatever
Depends
whatever
on
they
what
whatever he
depends on
wants him
what
to
day
do.
you ask him.
That's
I
what
mean,
I mean, bro.
don't
Like
don't let it be
if
lost to you guys.
Kyrie was really about some of the stuff Kyrie's about, then he would be done with the NBA.
Like
I,
facts. And
I
don't.
wouldn't say that,
I mean, he
bro.
I
doesn't.
don't know about
I
that, bro.
No. That's
No,
what do
I
you
I don't know
mean
about
take
he's
that,
really
bro.
about some of the things he's about? Because at the end of the day, bro, he's also about playing basketball. He loves basketball, and if you love something, you
Right.
want to do it on the highest level. No question, the NBA is the highest level. So I mean, there's a lot of other factors that that determine what a person does. Like, yes, does Kyrie clearly want to be on some activist status? He does. Does he clearly want to make stands? I think he does.
So
Does he
what's more
also love the
important to
game of
you?
basketball and want to play on the highest level? I think he does. So these are
See,
things that are conflicting to him right now, and I think he's trying to sort it out.
the thing
The
I
best
see
way he
is
can.
though, I agree with you, Bryce. She should be able to play basketball on the highest level. The only reason he can't is because of the was it New York's COVID mandated laws that say that he cannot practice with the team in New York. The team had the option potentially to practice in New Jersey to accommodate to Kyrie Irving. They did not. So my thing is, it seems like a geographic location problem. If he wants to continue to play basketball in the NBA and continue to be unvaccinated, it doesn't seem logical the team would pay him for his services the full price and not get his full services. So it makes sense for him to go to a different team. It's the only thing
Bruh,
that makes sense.
Okay, so what happens when that team plays Brooklyn or that team plays in another city with the same restrictions, bruh? Like
Whatever. If he played, so if he
every
played,
team is gonna have to
for
deal with this
example,
with Kyrie.
no. If he played, no, it's only New York. If he played for Philly or Orlando or Houston or something, he could play in those games. He just couldn't play in games in New
It's
York.
not
So what
only
is
New
that?
York.
So what is that?
I'm pretty
no,
sure the
Andrew Wiggins
stadiums
just
in
had to get
California,
vaccinated too.
yeah, Golden State is the same thing. And regardless, he could play for your Sixers. What happens when the Sixers play in Brooklyn? Kyrie's out.
Well, he won't
Like
play.
he's
So
still
what?
going to miss games wherever he goes. It's going to be the same
So is it
issue.
more? So is it more efficient for him to miss 42 games from New York, or is it more efficient for him to miss 3 or 4?
If I'm a team, I don't deal with this headache of Kyrie Irving not being
So what do you do?
vaccinated.
So what do you
I don't
do?
know if
What
it's
do you
worth
do?
it.
So what do you do, Rome? If you're the owner of the Nets, what do you do?
I keep him. Like I don't understand how that's an option. Why would you cut him? You get nothing. If you keep him, you get whatever small amount, might be crumbs,
Yeah,
but you get
I
something.
would have a conversation with
So
him
you take him
if
as a
he
part
doesn't
time player because
Yes,
if he doesn't want to be vaccinated. Yeah, then
yes.
I would just let him stay and
If
he can go
that's
about
no different
playing.
than your star player getting injured. You take him. You don't say, well, I know this guy is coming off an ACL. We have to load management. Let's cut him. No,
So basically, Ron, what you're telling me is that if you were the GM or the owner, you wouldn't have a huge problem with it. I mean, if you're saying at the end of the day you would just keep them and just let them do it, then what is this whole conversation about? If
I
you're
think
telling
you're
me,
I never
right.
said I had a problem with him. I just said I don't have a problem with any of his vaccination status. I'm not a Kyrie Irving fan. Like, I'm not a Kyrie Irving guy. Like I think he's the least focused superstar that I've ever seen. I mean, like I don't have a problem with any of the other stuff he does. But when it comes to the NBA and you guys were saying like, oh, he wants to play at the highest level and all that, I don't know how bad that he wants that. I don't know how important that is to him. And that's not a knock on the guy. It doesn't have to be that important to him. But from my perspective, it doesn't look like the number one thing on his list, and that's okay.
No, I
Hey,
totally agree, Ron. I don't think Kyrie Irving has shown to prioritize playing basketball or anything like that. I'm not buying into all these NBA guys are being pressured to do this and do that. They don't have to do it. Like if you feel pressure to do something that you literally don't have to do, that's on you. Like if you have a gun in your head, that's real pressure. If someone's just telling you, hey, you're gonna lose some money, like
That's real. That's real. That's real.
All right, yeah, that's real impressive if you have a gun to your head. But if you are living in modern society and people are quote unquote dragging you for your personal decisions, that's also a thing. We can't just
Yes.
like act like we can't act like that's not a thing. We can't act like the division going on between vaccinated and non-vaccinated is not a thing.
It's
right
a thing.
now.
Oh, no.
if you're worried about getting slandered in the media, that again, turn off your phone. Like that stuff that's more internal than external. Like, and of course it's easy.
Go ahead, Ron.
Of course, it's
The
easy.
thing with Kyrie, bruh, is like he's getting scrutinized for this vaccination thing, and I don't believe that it's fair for anyone to get scrutinized for the vaccination thing. But Kyrie's already put himself in this light where he gets scrutinized for just like he said at the beginning of the segment, being different, or like it doesn't come across as genuine to some people.
I don't want it to be lost on people that this guy was a flat earther at one point and was just as adamant about the earth being flat as he is about being anti-vax.
Yeah, so I mean, Kyrie Irving just isn't necessarily the guy to get up there and speak on.
I mean,
he's not gonna.
The fact that Kareem is on CNN, you know what I'm saying, mad at Kyrie is crazy to me, because when Kareem changed his name to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar from Lew Alcindor, there was a whole lot of people on the television talking about how wrong he was. Same with people like Muhammad Ali. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying it's the exact same issue as far as vaccination versus changing your name from, your former name to a name that matches your religion. But all I'm saying is, bro, it's all division still. And when people are easily divided like this, and if you can't see that, like, this is just another way of them to divide people and to point the finger at people's personal decisions, it's clearly what's going on, bro. Like, they're doing it left and right. Like, people have the right to their own decision. In my opinion, you shouldn't know if anybody's vaccinated or not. Like, it shouldn't be a thing where a player gets on the podium and the first question that's asked from the media is, what's your vaccination status? But that's what's going on. That's what's going on in the NFL,
so intrusive.
The NBA, it's in all these places. Like, that's something you shouldn't have to talk about.
No, it is.
They should be able to sign a waiver, just like any other institution. They should be able to sign a waiver or something like that. People have the right to do that, bro. Like I had a vaccination situation like that too. I had to,
if you have
what I had to do, but I could have got the waiver. I could have got it signed.
Isn't transmissible, then fine. But if you're coming up there with something that can be clearly contagious.
If you got a freaking STD, you gotta go up there and tell everybody what you got, because it's
right. That's personal. That's personal information. That's my health.
No, come on, man.
Bro, like nobody should have to go.
You can't give me an STD by sneezing on me, right?
I mean,
Kyrie could really. Like,
can you be HIV positive and play in the NFL? Is that allowed?
Yes.
Yeah, bro. Magic Johnson was HIV positive. He played in the NBA.
But you're not.
And should you have to tell everybody what you are?
Come on, man. That's a terrible analogy. That's a terrible analogy.
It's perfect. There's no perfect analogies with this, right? There's no perfect analogy with this. But what I'm saying is, I don't believe that anybody should have to disclose certain information, bro. Certain things should be able to be private to you. They made it to a point where this all has to be public. And if you don't get to know about somebody, because everyone feels like they should have all information about all people, then you feel a certain way that you don't get to know about this. If someone let's put it like this. Let's say someone gets on the podium and they ask you, hey, are you vaccinated? Let's say you are vaccinated, but you say no comment. Everybody's going to think you automatically not vaccinated, bro.
Right, exactly. And that's what people think.
About yourself, bro.
I mean, everything I'm hearing, everything I'm hearing out of you, everything I'm hearing out of you has to do with how people will perceive you. That has nothing to do with.
No, it's not with how people perceive you. I'm saying is you should have the choice to disclose information about yourself or not, bro.
If you don't want to disclose the information, don't play. It's really simple.
So don't live in America if you don't want your information exposed. That's pretty much what you're telling me.
No, I said don't play. I said don't play the NBA. Everybody in America does not play the NBA.
What you're saying is everybody in the NBA should have to disclose their information.
Yes.
So every single person that comes to the stadium should have to discllose their information.
If that's the rule, that's the rule.
No, I'm asking, bro. It's not a rule. It's not a rule. It's not a rule. It's a societal rule. That's what I'm trying to get you. It's not a rule that says you have to disclose information.
If an employer makes a rule and they make a mandate, it's a rule. It's not a societal rule.
The employer hasn't made a rule though. The NBA is not saying you have to disclose your information. Society's saying they want to hear your information.
So again, like I said, you're judging this based on how society will perceive you, not on anything tangible.
No, that's not how I'm judging. I'm judging on what the individual
not on anything
should be able
tangible.
to do or not.
You're talking about feelings.
The individual should be able to say yes or no. They don't want to disclose information, regardless of their status. That's what I'm saying.
Nah, that's crazy.
Well, when is okay? Let me pose this question. Let me pose this question to Bryce.
Personally affect someone else.
Yeah. When is it
that's
not
kind of a standard rule?
When is it not private? You know what I mean? Like, when is it okay for someone to disclose that information? Like, give me a situation. There's situations where I might need to know that. You know what I mean? Like,
I think the team officials, if they needed to know whatever, I think that's fair, but I don't think it should have to be public information that someone has to share with the media.
If you have something that you could give to someone else,
the team should not be able to disclose that information either.
But if you're about to do something where you could transmit that to someone else, you need to disclose that information to the person.
Bro,
if someone is HIV positive, they need to disclose that information to the person before
they can disclose the minutiae, right? But the fact of the matter is, if you got the vaccine or not, you can still transmit it. Is that a fact? So what are we even talking about now? If anybody can transmit it, either way, if you got it or you don't got the vax, what are we even talking about? Now we're just talking about a societal thing where you're trying to cast a certain shadow or a certain cloud over somebody that has it or not. Why can't anybody just say, hey, I don't want to disclose this information, whether you got it or not? Why can't that be a thing?
Why can't the speed limit be 65 instead of 55? Why can't it be 75 instead of 65? You can ask why about anything. But the fact of the matter is,
we're talking about two different things, though. We're talking about personal information. We're talking about health records. These are things that are. This is personal information that should be protected.
We're not talking about health records, though. No one's asking
this is what you call
your entire history.
This is what HR calls sensitive information.
No. Asking your vaccine status is not asking your entire history of your health. It's not asking what you go to the doctor to get checked on. It's literally asking your vaccination status. That's not.
At the end of the day,
the fact that media members are asking them personal, sensitive information about their medical records, which are completely private, that's crossing the line right there. And I agree with Bryce. It's because of societal norms pushing that.
I guess the media doesn't ask them private questions about anything else ever, though, right?
Like, the media can ask what they want. It's up to you.
And they always
stay out of it. The media needs to stay with the media.
Again, we're talking about how people will perceive you. At the end of the day, at its most basic form is your job says you have to do something, and people saying I don't want to do it. What means more to you, your health or your job? And a lot of people are saying I want to do both. I want to do both. Obviously, you want to do both. Most people want to do both. But again, if you want to call the shots in a job, you create your own business. Outside of that, you follow rules. And that's just how that goes. I don't know why this is more complicated than that. I don't care about the morals and the ethics. In real life, if you're not generating the revenue personally, if you're not cutting the checks, you don't make the rules. You follow the rules. So if you don't want to follow the rules, stop
in real
crying.
Life.
That's real life.
You go to court and you go to litigation or one of those other words that I'm not, I don't know what the process is, but I'm sure I'll be learning about it in class soon. So I'll give you all the facts.
My man said this is supposed to be a free country while he's paying taxes. All right, I hear you. There's nothing free about this country. I'm not sure what they taught you in school, but life has taught me that free country is just a concept that only a certain demographic prescribes to.
Man, say what you want, man. All I'm saying is I just feel like, people should be able to make a decision if they want to disclose information or not. And it shouldn't be a big deal. I don't think that, based off the things that we know about the virus, you know what I mean? We know that you can still contract it if you have the vaccine. We know you can still spread it if you have the vaccine. So at the end of the day, to me, I view the vaccine as a personal protection method. Right? It's a personal.
It's like wearing a condom.
We can okay, we'll go with that. Well, I'm just saying, I don't want no information about anybody that's out here raw dogging. I ain't going around asking about, hey, you raw dogging? I don't give a damn what you did. And I shouldn't give a damn what you did.
That's your personal choice.
In your life, if you're not taking that personal protection measure, that's on you. I already know I'm protected. So if I am gonna get it, I got the vax. And if you trying to pass it to me, I have a less chance of getting it because I got the vax. Like, end of the day, they're already getting tested daily anyway. Like, these dudes getting tested every single day for the virus. And if you get the virus, you can't play anyway. So all of this that's being created, bro, this is a lot more than people are realizing. I feel like even us, we're getting lumped into the division right now. And this is exactly what's going on a large
scale. This is a strong conversation.
I'm not divided on it. My stance has always been do what you want, but don't try to tell me that I should be able to do both, because that's just not real life. You shouldn't be able to do what you want at work. That's just like no one does that. No one. Presidents have rules.
You should have to do your job, and you should be based off your job. Anything that has nothing to do with your job shouldn't really matter, bro. And getting a vaccine really doesn't have anything to do with
your job. Tells you, your job tells you when. Your job tells you when.
This is why it has to do with his job.
There's no mandate in the NBA to get the shot. There's no mandate that you have to get the shot.
If he catches COVID, but if he catches COVID, is he out? Is he out because he has COVID? He can't play, right?
He's out for.
So then it affects your job. Then, like, what?
Yeah, but if he catches COVID, but if he doesn't have COVID, why is he missing games
for that game?
Bryce, we just said getting the shot is like a condom. So if you got your condom, you have a less chance of getting COVID. So if he don't got it, he has more chance of being out. Like, it's simple logic for a team and a league.
People with the shot get COVID and not be able to play.
Right.
Not for as long. Not for as long. And all you need is one negative setback.
Not for as long.
Y'all want to argue?
Okay, I mean that makes a huge difference, yo. If you're an employer,
doesn't make a huge difference.
Yes, it does. If you're an employer and you have an unvaccinated person that's going to be out for 2 weeks versus a vaccinated person that's going to be out for 2 days, that makes a big difference to you. Does it not?
So you're telling me it makes sense for this man to sit out 42 games of the entire regular season, or he could get COVID and miss 14? Like, for what? Like, that doesn't make sense, bro.
What? Miss 42 games or miss 14 games?
For a preventative measure. If he gets COVID, if he gets COVID, worst case, he missed 5 games.
I mean, rules.
So you want to miss the least amount of games, bro. Like whatever games you get to miss the least is the
why
right
would
choice.
he have to miss more games on some preventative measure shit than actually missing with COVID itself? COVID itself, you would only miss 5 games.
That's not even the NBA's rule. That's New York's rule.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's more than a NBA conversation. This is a workman.
So are you telling me?
This is a legal law.
The
type
players
job.
should be able to dictate to a billion-dollar corporation and cities about what they do when these same players have signed CBAs to agree to say that we won't put this in my body. Like the NBA and the NFL collectively tells people what they can and cannot put in their body. Like, that's not anything new.
Well, I think if there was a real life, it is a job. If it is a job, just like any other job. So in a real life situation, if it wasn't the NBA, it was like a UPS worker from New York that didn't want to get vaccinated and he couldn't work because of the NJ, whatever, whatever the mandate is, whatever. They just move his ass to a different state. That's all. The problem solved, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because it's an NBA, because it's an NBA franchise, and everyone's drawn to this idea, like, oh, we gotta keep the squad together, we gotta keep the big three together, and that's why, you know what I'm saying? It's becoming more of an issue. In reality, if it was just a worker situation, you just move. You just move. You go to another state.
What's the loss if he only plays half the game? Let's say he plays 25% of the games. Like, what's the real world loss? Like, what's the big deal?
If there's a game 7 in Brooklyn and he can't be in it, it's a big deal, bro. It's a big deal. He's not going to be able to practice,
and he can't. The biggest thing, I mean, the games is obviously huge, but he also can't practice. He can't practice with the team, bro. So, like, even if you could bring him,
NBA player, he doesn't need to practice with the team.
We're talking about practice.
So you don't think an elite NBA player needs to practice with the team at all for the whole season? He just shows up to away games. Do you think that's cool with the team?
I think he's that talented. He'll be fine.
I don't think the team's good. I don't think the team's going to be cool with that.
I don't think Kyrie will get to the game and they'll be like, man, how do we incorporate this guy? Like, I don't think that'll happen.
I don't know the team's going to be cool with that, bro.
I think Duncan Robinson, no, whoever, what's the shooter out there? Joe something. I think all those role players will be happy to pass the ball to Kyrie when he comes back.
All right, let's get final thoughts on this. What Scruff? How do you think this situation ends? And then we'll go around.
I think he might get traded. I don't know when it's going to happen or how it's going to happen. I think Brooklyn's trying their best to try to keep it together, but I think they're getting tired of this shit, and it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. All I know is he could play 82 games in Philadelphia, and I respect Kyrie Irving's decision to not play versus a guy like Ben Simmons. You know what I'm saying? This is legit. This is a legit reason. It's not because he's scared. It's because he has a legit reason why he doesn't want to get vaccinated. I don't think he should have to get vaccinated. I think that's his prerogative. He has his choice to make, and I think he should be able to play. So if New York's the reason that's holding him back, I say you move to another state.
All right, T, and then Bryce closes out.
I think he doesn't play. I think this guy is resolved to do whatever is on his mind at the time. I remember he got mad because people were surprised that he believed the earth was flat. Since that day, since that moment, since that couple of months, like credibility to what he says has been lessened. And maybe I know people learn and they go through life and they figure things out, but every action I've seen from Kyrie seems to be self-serving in a way. Even if he's helping someone, he's prioritizing himself. He's not putting the team or the NBA first, which is fine. But we can't cry about it. Like if he doesn't play, he doesn't play. I think he shuts it down.
I don't know, man. I don't know any of these guys personally, so I'm not gonna try to say the reason the reason behind their actions. So I don't know these people, but I do know, and I really don't give a damn what happens to Kyrie Irving as far as the Brooklyn Nets is concerned. I really don't care. But I do know one thing: this vaccination thing, this whole "are you vaxxed? Are you not vaxxed? Should you be? Should you have to say it? Should you have to disclose it?" All it's done, in my opinion, since it's happened, is just create more and more division amongst society. And I think it's like every day I see more and more proof of how like people allow their feelings or their whatever way they feel about it, one way or the other, to kind of dictate how they feel about an individual. You know what I mean? I personally don't give a damn about any decision anybody wants to make. If you want to get it, get it. If you don't want to get it, don't. And I'm not going to judge nobody either way. And I wish we would just live in a society that didn't judge people either way and let people live however the hell they want to live. But we're very far from that.
Yeah, I agree with that statement. We are far from that. If we weren't judging each other on this, we'd just be judging each other on something else because that's society. But look, man, it's been a great show, fellas. This was this convo ran a little long, but it was a real one. So I'm glad we had it.
Second show in a row, we closing with COVID, man. I'm done with COVID talk, bro. The same way I said I'll never
COVID
talk
is not done with you.
Again. I'm done with the COVID talk on Gas Present Sports for the culture. For damn
super organic conversation.
Talk COVID, man, hit me on a private message or something. Cause I ain't talking it on the air any longer, bro. I'm done with it. I'm done.
You're creating
division. Kyrie.
You're creating division.
No public combos.
All because of the judgment of people and their opinions, man. It's crazy what we got to do.
That's it, bro. Like that's all it's ever gonna be, bro. Like. We got to stop with this, man. We got to stop with this. Let people live how they want to live. I understand that it's being presented to us in a way that's making us divided. So I'm not judging. I'm not mad at anybody for the division because I understand how it's being presented to us. You know what I'm saying? But the only way I can absolve myself of it is to be done talking about it in these type of settings, bro.
Yeah, I hear that, bro. I hear that. Very good conversation, man. Very organic, man. Very interesting. We'll see how that's going to play out over the next couple of weeks, man. But one thing for sure, man, like your boy T said, whether you're vaccinated or you're not, wash your hands, wash your ass, man. Good rule of thumb. I think that applies to everybody. That's still tried and true. So make sure you're doing that. Make sure that you subscribe. Will Peter 713. I want you back at the next show, brother. We're here every Tuesday at 9:30-ish. So make sure you jump on. Hit that subscribe button, man. Hit that follow button if you're jumping onto us on Twitter. It's at GoodAssSports. Same thing on Instagram. We're on all platforms at GoodAssSports Network. On YouTube. And, of course, we got the Gas Network app available on all platforms. Any closing words, fellas? I got nothing.
Nah.
Well, then we're going to close it out the
Go
only
get
way
the
we do.
vaccine, man, or you're going to be divided from me.
Hey,
Hey, make the
do-
best choice for you. Make the best choice.
Nah,
For you.
do whatever you feel, you know what I'm saying, is in the best interest of you and your family. That's what it comes down to, man. If that's more important than your job, then so be it. I won't knock it.
hey,
Yeah, man. You've been looking for a reason to quit that job anyway. I don't know who needed to hear
Man,
that, but
T
you've
said,
been
let me
looking
throw
for a
in one
reason.
more division for you before I go. If that's the best, if that's how you feel about the job, I won't knock it. Man, bitch.
hey. I'd rather have all I say, I'll close it out on this. I'd rather have a point guard that doesn't have a vaccine than a point guard that doesn't have a heart. All right.
Hey, go ahead, bro. I heard Ben Simmons don't got a heart or a vaccine. So hey.
Hey,
Oh,
well,
man.
then we definitely don't want him.